Good evening. Miracles happen to those who believe in them, once said by Bernhard Berenson. Welcome to BMC News Live presented by Al Hilal Hospitals and Medical Centers English News. Myself, Shana Sultana, joining you with the daily news updates. Today's headlines. Cabinet reshuffled, 17 ministers including 4 women. His Royal Highness Prince Salman bin Hamad Al Khalifa chaired cabinet meeting. Bahrain's progress in elevating the status of women highlighted at Wilson Center. Saudi Arabia lifted pandemic-related measures. UAE tightened safety regulations as COVID-19 cases and hospitalizations rise. Today's news in detail. Cabinet reshuffled 17 ministers including 4 women. 17 ministers have been appointed in the biggest cabinet reshuffle in Bahrain's history. This includes 13 new ministers including 4 women and many new young faces. Call to shut down crammed scrapie due to street dogs treat. A call has gone out to shut down a crammed scrapie yard in Durrës that is allegedly attracting stray dogs and posing a threat to residents' lives. The proposal has been submitted by Northern Municipal Council Technical Committee Chairman Abdullah Al-Kubaisi, who said he has been dealing with a barrage of complaints from Durrës residents seeking quick action. Lower fees ruled out on new social homes. Bahraini families will continue paying higher monthly municipal fees until they settle in their new social homes, according to a top minister. Housing Minister Bassem Al-Hamir told the Muharraq Municipal Council that their proposal to charge subsidized rates from the moment homeowners received keys could open doors for possible construction and expansion violations. Al Hilal Hospitals and Medical Centers Bahrain's COVID updates.
COVID updates brought to you by Al Hilal Hospital and Medical Centers.
Bahrain marked World Blood Donor Day. Bahrain today marks World Blood Donor Day, annually observed on June 14th. The 2022 edition is being held under the theme Donating Blood is an Act of Solidarity. His Royal Highness Prince Salman bin Hamad Al Khalifa chaired cabinet meeting. His Royal Highness Prince Salman bin Hamad Al Khalifa, the Crown Prince and Prime Minister, has highlighted the importance of building on the ongoing progress and development witnessed in Bahrain under the leadership of His Majesty King Hamad. His Royal Highness the Crown Prince and Prime Minister was chairing the weekly cabinet meeting yesterday. Manpower firms want over workers' status. Manpower agencies in Bahrain have been warned to properly change the status of domestic workers returned after the probation period and not to exploit them by hiring them out on hourly, daily or monthly basis. The Labour Market Regulatory Authority LMRA said yesterday that it was working to preserve the rights of citizens and prevent the exploitation of domestic workers before proper work permits are issued. Now we shall go for a short commercial break.
All your favorite products under one roof in Bahrain at 27-year-old Megamart and Macromart. Bakery, fresh meat and fish, fruits and vegetables, sweets and snacks, ready-to-eat foods, dairy products, grocery or consumer goods. Megamart and Macromart, full of goodness.
Welcome back. With the 8th International Day of Yoga approaching and the IDY theme for the year 2022 is Yoga for Humanity, and keeping this in mind, ILA organized fun and interactive yoga session for Sneha Kids assisted by Sneha coordinators and volunteers through Miss Antara Banikia and Mr. Rudraj Singh conducted yoga sessions for special children of Sneha and Sneha Kids on 11th July 2022 at ILA premises. Mr. Rudraj is yoga expert at BICAS Bahrain. Mr. Singh is a faculty at Art of Living, a teacher of Indian culture and yoga, an impaneled examiner at the Yoga Certification Board at the Ministry of Ayush, a master in yogic science and a desktop yoga trainer, and a jury member of India Skills Olympics event. Rudraj was deputed by ICCR to the Kingdom of Bahrain after the successful completion of his 2 years deputation period 2017 to 2019 at the Embassy of India in Bahrain. Mr. Rudraj has actively taught yoga programs across different states of India and Middle East, reaching out to approximately 1.5 lakhs people. Being a yoga exponent by nature, thus is reaching out to all walks of life, from tribes to corporates, villages to urban government offices, schools, colleges and universities. Miss Antara is a yoga and wellness coach and has been teaching yoga for 10 years. She is also associated with a couple of volunteer organizations and offers corporate wellness sessions. The instructors made kids practice easy to follow and fun yoga postures. The session was followed by healthy homemade snacks and sweets. This was done keeping in mind the emphasis on the importance and impact of the low sugar, gluten-free and healthy meals on kids with special needs that were explained in detail by Dr. Alok Sharma in the last event. The core purpose of IDY is to create mass awareness regarding health benefits of yoga for the people, and the Indian Ladies Association Bahrain is living up to it, make it a grand success each year. Bahrain's progress in elevating the status of women highlighted at Wilson Center. Wilson Center has hosted the Council of Representatives Speaker Fauzia Zainal in an open debate attended by US politicians and researchers. The speaker highlighted the transition of Bahraini women from empowerment and advancement to progress in all fields thanks to the unlimited support of His Majesty King Hamad bin Isa Al Khalifa and to the motivational environment. She added, the advanced institutional structure and legislation consolidated the principles of justice, competitiveness and equal opportunities for all, which culminated in Bahraini women reaching the highest leadership positions, she said. Saudi Arabia lifted pandemic-related measures. Saudi Arabia, based on the follow-up on the epidemiological situation of the coronavirus pandemic, has decided to lift the precautionary and preventive measures related to combating the coronavirus pandemic as per the following: not requiring masks to be worn in closed places except the Grand Holy Mosque, the Prophet's Mosque and places for which protocols are issued by the Public Health Authority, Wakaya, or the facilities, activities, events and means of public transportation that wish to apply higher levels of protection by maintaining the condition of wearing masks for entry, while continuing to raise awareness and urging the public to continue wearing masks. Immunization and health verification via Tawakkalna are no longer required to enter facilities, activities, events, board planes and public transportation except for those whose nature requires immunization or continuing to verify health status per the Public Health Authority Wakaya, or facilities, activities, events and means of transportation that wish to implement higher levels of protection by continuing to require immunization or to verify the health status before entry into their facilities. The duration of the requirement to take the booster dose of the COVID-19 vaccine for citizens who wish to travel abroad is 8 months instead of 3 months from receiving the second dose, except for age groups specified or excluded by the Health Ministry and as per their status in the Tawakkalna application. UAE tightens safety regulations as COVID-19 cases and hospitalizations rise. The United Arab Emirates is tightening COVID-19 regulations, including stricter enforcement of an indoor mask mandate amid an increase in COVID-19 cases and hospitalizations. Infections in the UAE have more than doubled in a week, and the country reported 1,319 infections on Monday. Hospital admissions have increased, still the number of fatalities has stayed low, and the government hasn't reported any deaths last week. Under the new rules, a green pass system on the government's health app will be valid for 14 days starting Wednesday. The app, which uses a color-coded system to indicate vaccination and PCR test status, is currently valid for 30 days. A green pass is needed to access government buildings across the country and indoor spaces in the capital, Abu Dhabi. The government also urged residents to follow an indoor mask mandate. The rule will be more strictly enforced, authorities said, and any breaches will carry a fine of up to 3,000 dirhams. Dubai's book-shaped Mohammed bin Rashid Library opened. The Mohammed bin Rashid Library that overlooks the Dubai Creek was inaugurated on Monday. The building looks like an open book. According to the project's website, the building has been built in shape of al-Reh, the traditional wooden book rest used to hold the Holy Quran. Rehl is an X-shaped foldable lectern used for placing the holy book as the faithful recite it. The Mohammed bin Rashid Library is the biggest cultural center and library of its kind in the MENA region, and the 7-story building has over 1 million books and 6 million research theses. In addition to 10 main library collections, the project features conference centers and exhibition spaces. Yen and rupee fall to record low against US dollar. The Japanese yen and India's rupees on Monday slid against the US dollar ahead of an expected move by the US to raise interest rates again. With $1 worth 135.19 yen, Japan's currency on Monday morning was at its lowest against the dollar in 24 years since the Asian currency crisis of 1998. The rupee fell to 78.2825 for $1, another all-time low, with the currencies valuable in uncharted territory against the greenback for several months now. This comes amid raising prices globally as well as capital outflow in emerging markets as investors turn risk-averse. Several currencies have been weakened in recent months as the US Federal Reserve moves towards tighter policies to tackle soaring inflation triggered by Russia's invasion of Ukraine. The Bank of Japan, however, has taken a different approach to the Fed, sticking to its long-standing monetary easing program in hopes that it will stabilize growth. Meanwhile, India's Reserve Bank RBI hiking borrowing costs by 50 basis points last week. The out-of-cycle 0.4% rate raise in May was the second in recent months. The Indian Central Bank has already sought to stabilize the currency by selling off foreign currency. With this, we come to the end of today's news. Stay tuned for daily news updates in BMC News Club English at 7:30 p.m. Thank you so much for watching. Signing off by Shana Sultana. Good night.